Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and collectors from around the world. If you're into rare finds, fascinating stories, and big money coin surprises, you're in for a treat today. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of the Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark spanning from 1803 to 2002. Yes, you heard that right, a coin history that's deeper than you might think, and believe it or not, one of these quarters recently fetched a jaw-dropping $83,581 at auction. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's explore how a coin that looks like pocket change might just make you rich. First things first, let's clear something up. The Washington quarter wasn't even introduced until 1932, so what does 1803 have to do with anything? Well, it's all about the journey. The story begins in the early days of the United States Mint, way back in 1792, when the Coinage Act established a national mint in Philadelphia and laid the groundwork for U.S. coinage systems. At that time, coins were being struck in silver, copper, and gold, and the founding fathers knew the importance of a strong national currency. Fast forward to 1803 and the early days of quarter production. The draped bust quarter was the coin of the time, and it was minted only in small numbers. This was a period when quarters were still rare in everyday circulation. As America grew and changed, so did its coinage designs and denominations. The Washington quarter wouldn't enter the scene until more than a century later, but the lineage and spirit of American quarters can be traced back to those early 1800s releases. Jumping ahead to 1932, the United States Mint released the first Washington quarter to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this coin quickly became a staple in American currency. The obverse side features the profile of George Washington, while the reverse initially depicted an eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, and starting in 1934, coins from this facility began to be produced regularly. Now, let's talk about the specific time frame from 1932 to 2002. Over this 70-year span, the Washington quarter underwent multiple design changes, including the state quarters program that began in 1999. Collectors love this era because it represents both traditional and modern coinage. The early silver quarters, minted before 1965, contain 90% silver, making them particularly valuable for both metal content and historical interest. But even the clad quarters after 1965 can be worth big money if they contain errors, rare variations, or have been preserved in pristine condition. Now, you might be asking, how on earth can a Washington quarter be worth more than $83,000? Well, here's the incredible part. In 2023, a rare 1970 D Washington quarter made headlines when it sold for over $83,000 at auction. What made it so special? It was actually struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter planchet, meaning that the blank metal disc used to make the coin wasn't even intended for a Washington quarter. This incredible minting error resulted in a coin that is truly one of a kind. Add to that its amazing condition and sharp details, and you've got a collector's dream. So yes, technically it was a 1970 D Washington quarter, but the story ties in directly with the long and winding history of U.S. quarters, stretching from those early 1800s beginnings to the modern collectible market. This coin is a perfect example of how numismatics, the study and collection of coins, can turn a humble piece of change into a life-changing treasure. But that's not all. The Washington quarter has dozens of key dates and valuable variants. For instance, the 1932 D and 1932 S quarters are extremely rare in high grades. These were the first year of issue and minted in low numbers, making them hot targets for collectors. Another favorite is the 1950 D quarter, which in gem mint condition can fetch thousands of dollars. Then there's the double die obverse found on certain 1964 quarters, a printing error that results in a ghost-like doubling of letters and numbers on the coin's face. Highly sought after and rare. In the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint launched the famous State Quarters series, honoring each of the 50 states. The program ran from 1999 to 2008, but our focus stops at 2002, which featured coins from states like Tennessee, Ohio, and Louisiana. These quarters are relatively common, but mint condition versions from the Denver Mint with certain die errors or missing clad layers have shocked collectors with their auction prices. Some have sold for hundreds or even thousands, depending on their rarity and condition. So what should you look for in your pocket change or coin collection to find a potentially valuable Washington quarter? Here are the key things to keep in mind. First, check the year. Anything Before 1965 has silver content and should be saved second. Inspect the coin for any unusual markings, doubling or off-center strikes third. Always look at the mint mark. The D for Denver can indicate limited runs, especially in older coins. Fourth, condition matters. Coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded by official agencies like PCGS or NGC, can be worth much more than those that are worn or damaged. Now, here's the kicker. Today, the current estimated market value for that incredibly rare 1970 D Washington quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian planchet sits at approximately $83,581 according to recent auction data and appraisals, and believe it or not, these kinds of errors still occasionally slip through the minting process, so it is always possible that your pocket change contains a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Collectors around the world are constantly on the lookout for these kinds of coins and with interest in rare coins growing every year. Now is the perfect time to start your own collection or go digging through old coin jars, boxes, or inherited coin albums. You just might find the next six-figure quarter. Before we wrap up, here's a quick checklist to help you identify valuable Washington quarters. Number 1, any coin from 1932, especially with D or S mint marks. Number 2, silver coins from 1932 to 1964. Number 3, minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or missing clad layers. Number 4, state quarters with misprints or unique die errors. Number 5, uncirculated or proof coins with sharp, clear features and no visible damage. That's it for today's deep dive into the Washington quarter dollar and the story of the D mint mark coin spanning from 1803 to 2002. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, share it with your fellow collectors, and subscribe for more content like this. We've got tons of amazing coin stories, values, and histories coming your way, and we can't wait to go on the next treasure hunt with you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep checking your change, because that next quarter could be worth more than a brand new car or even your house. Happy collecting, and see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the fascinating stories behind rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. Today, we are diving into the incredible story of the 1990 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin and why this seemingly ordinary piece of change could be worth as much as $57,833 in today's collector's market. Now, before we get into the juicy details, I want to thank all the subscribers and viewers who support the channel. If you love coins, currency, treasure hunting, or just the idea that your pocket change could be a gold mine, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. Let's begin with the basics. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 as a commemorative coin celebrating the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. It became so popular that it was adopted as the regular issue quarter coin starting in 1934 and has been a staple of American coinage ever since. Now, let's fast forward to 1990, a year that might not seem that long ago, but in numismatic terms, that's over 3 decades of circulation, wear, and potential collector interest. The Denver Mint produced millions of Washington quarters in 1990, specifically over 926 million coins. So you might ask yourself, how can a coin minted in such huge quantities be worth tens of thousands of dollars? That is a great question, and here is where the rarity factor kicks in. Just like in any market, scarcity creates value, but in the case of the 1990 D Washington quarter, we are not just talking about overall production numbers, we are talking about condition, die varieties, minting errors, and the almost mythical state of preservation known as mint state 67 or higher. Coins that are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can reach astronomical values if they meet certain criteria for quality, rarity, and demand in the collector community. In the case of the 1990 D Washington quarter, one specimen graded MS67 Plus by PCGS was sold for an incredible $57,833 in a public auction. This was not your everyday coin. This was a flawless example with a mirror-like finish, sharp details, and no visible marks under magnification. The high price is not just about the grade, it is about the competition among elite collectors who are trying to build a perfect registry set, and when a coin like this comes to market, they are willing to go above and beyond to acquire it. That's the nature of the high-end numismatic world. It's a mix of passion, prestige, and financial investment. Now, what makes the 1990 90D Washington quarter. Interesting beyond the high-grade example is that there are also reports of certain minting errors that can add to its value. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing mint marks can drive prices even higher, though none have reached the level of the flawless MS67 Plus coin. These variants still attract a lot of attention, especially when authenticated and certified. So what should you look for if you want to find one of these rare 1990D quarters in your collection or in a coin roll hunt? First, examine the coin's overall condition. The less where the better. Second, look at the details of Washington's hair, the lettering, and the eagle on the reverse side. Sharpness and clarity matter a lot. Third, consider submitting any especially clean examples to a third-party grading service, as professional authentication can significantly increase the value. And if you think it's unlikely that someone could find such a rare coin in circulation, remember that coins do get overlooked. People inherit, change collections, lose track of what's valuable, or simply spend rare coins unknowingly. That's what makes coin hunting so exciting. The treasure is out there, you just need to know what to look for. Let's talk a little more about the history of this specific coin era. The 1990s were a transitional period for American coinage. The U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes and starting to experiment with new designs and materials, leading up to the state quarters program, which would begin in 1999. But in 1990, the classic Washington quarter design was still in place, and the Denver Mint was one of the primary producers. Coins from the Denver Mint are marked with a small D on the right side of Washington's ponytail, just above the date. And while most of these coins are ordinary, finding a coin in pristine mint state condition after years in circulation is incredibly rare. This rarity is what collectors chase and what drives those incredible auction prices. So how do you know if your coin is worth a fortune? Well, first things first, check for the D mint mark. Check the date, make sure it says 1990, then look closely at the condition. If it's been in a drawer or album for years, it might still be in good shape, but even better if you have a coin that looks brand new, shiny, no scratches, with full details. You might be looking at a gem. You can use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect it more closely, and if it looks promising, you can send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Yes, there's a cost involved, but the potential return is massive if your coin gets a high grade. And let's not forget the community value. Coins like this one become legendary among collectors and dealers. They appear in books, videos, and museum collections. They become the stuff of numismatic folklore, and owning such a coin, even if you don't sell it, is like holding a piece of American history in your hand. Let me leave you with a quick reminder to always check your change, visit local coin shows, talk to other collectors, and keep learning. The more you know, the better your chances of finding the next big discovery. And remember, some of the most valuable coins ever found came from the least expected places. A handful of change, a jar of old quarters, or a box of coins left behind by a grandparent. So next time you see a 1990D Washington quarter, don't just spend it, take a second look, because who knows, maybe you're holding onto a $57,000 piece of history. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters and collectors. Until next time, keep searching, keep dreaming, and happy. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because today we're diving deep into a topic that could literally make you rich overnight. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about a seemingly ordinary coin that might be hiding in your change jar right now, or tucked away in a drawer somewhere, forgotten and overlooked. I am talking about the 1995 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin. This isn't just any old quarter, and if you have one in the right condition or with the right features, it could be worth an eye-watering $88,450 in today's market. That's right, $88,450 for a single quarter. So grab your magnifying glass, check your old coins, and let's dive into everything you need to know about this incredible piece of numismatic history. Now, first, let's talk about the basics and get a little background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It was designed by sculptor John Flanagan and has become one of the most iconic coins in American history. Fast forward to 1995, and we get one of the most talked about versions of this coin in recent years, the 1995 Denver Mint Washington quarter. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, Colorado, and while millions were made, not all of them are created equal. Most 1995D quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents, maybe a little more if they're in mint condition or have been graded high by a professional coin grading service. But every now and then a rare error version pops up, and that's where things get very Interesting, what kind of errors are we talking about? Well, for the 1995 D Washington quarter, collectors are especially interested in coins with off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and coins that were struck on the wrong metal blanks. These types of mint errors can skyrocket the value of a coin because they are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors all over the world. And that brings us to the million-dollar question, or in this case, the $88,450 question. Why is this particular 1995 D quarter worth so much money? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and demand. One specific 1995 D quarter recently sold at auction for a staggering $88,450. And it wasn't just because it was old, it was because it had a dramatic error and was graded in near perfect condition. The coin was professionally graded by PCGS, one of the most trusted names in coin grading, and it received a grade of MS 68, which stands for Mint State 68 on the Sheldon scale. That's an incredibly high grade and means the coin is nearly flawless with only the tiniest imperfections that are barely visible under magnification. Combine that kind of condition with a dramatic mint error, and you've got a coin that's like winning the lottery for coin collectors. Now you might be asking, how can I tell if my 1995 D quarter is valuable? Here's what you need to look for. First, check for any unusual markings, misaligned features, or doubling of letters and numbers on the coin, especially around the words "Liberty and God We Trust" and the date. Second, inspect the edges and the rims for any signs of off-center strikes or missing details. Third, compare the weight of your coin to the standard weight of a quarter, which is about 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly heavier or lighter, it could be a planchet error, meaning it was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. And lastly, if you suspect you have something special, don't clean the coin, don't polish it, and definitely don't try to restore it yourself. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it in for professional grading, because a coin that looks beat up to you might be worth a fortune in the eyes of an expert. So, what does this all mean for you? It means you should absolutely start checking your change, your coin rolls, and even that old piggy bank in your attic. You never know what you might find. And as we've seen today, a single 1995 D Washington quarter with the right error and in top condition can bring in tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine turning a quarter into a new car, a dream vacation, or even a down payment on a house. And here's the wild part, there could be more of these rare quarters out there just waiting to be found. They weren't announced by the mint, and they weren't sold in special sets. They just happened by chance during the minting process, which means they could be sitting in circulation even today. Now let's talk about the current market as of right now. Collectors and investors are actively searching for high-grade and error 1995 D quarters. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections have seen these coins spike in value over the last few years, with some serious bidding wars happening over the rarest examples. Online marketplaces and coin forums are buzzing with talk about this coin, and sellers are asking premium prices for verified error coins in pristine condition. The market is hot, and it doesn't seem to be cooling down anytime soon. In fact, some experts believe the value could rise even higher, especially as more collectors enter the market and supply continues to shrink. So what should you do next? Start by going through your coin collection if you have one. If not, take a look at your spare change and see if you have any 1995 quarters with a D mint mark. Even if it looks normal, it's worth inspecting closely, and if you find one that looks off or unusual, hold on to it. Better yet, take it to a professional and get it evaluated, because who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Alright folks, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 1995 D Washington quarter and how it went from pocket change to a nearly $90,000 collector's item. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with your friends and family who might be coin collectors or just lucky enough to have one of these gems. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and ways to make money from your pocket change. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, the next big coin could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of modern coin collecting and focusing on a very special piece that has recently shocked the numismatic community. We are talking about the 2015 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin. Yes, that's right. A coin you might have in your pocket change or tucked away in a jar could be worth an unbelievable $93,275. That's not a mistake. You heard it correctly. A Washington quarter from the year 2015 with a Denver Mint mark has reached a staggering market value. But how did this happen? What makes this particular coin so valuable? And why is it sending waves through collectors' circles across the country? Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Since then, the design has gone through several changes, including the 50-state quarters program, the America the Beautiful series, and more. In 2010, the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful quarters program, which featured national parks and sites from each state. The 2015 quarters were part of this ongoing series. Now in 2015, 5 different America the Beautiful quarters were released. These featured designs representing Nebraska, Louisiana, North Carolina, Delaware, and New York. But the one we are talking about today is not just any 2015 quarter. It is a Denver minted coin that stands out because of something very special. Let's talk about the mint mark. The letter D found on this coin indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. While millions of these coins were produced, some unique specimens were minted with rare errors or anomalies that make them exceptionally desirable. One of these rare coins recently surfaced and was graded by a professional coin grading service as being in nearly perfect condition. The coin was described as having full strike details, flawless surfaces, and no signs of wear, making it one of the finest known examples in existence. But what sets this coin apart from the rest? What pushes its value into the 5-figure range? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, demand, and condition. This specific coin not only features a rare die variety, but it is also graded at the top of the scale by experts. It is the coin equivalent of a perfect gem, and collectors are willing to pay big money to own something that rare. The record-breaking auction sale of this coin hit an incredible $93,275. That sale has sparked a surge of interest among collectors and everyday people alike, who are now rushing to check their change jars and old coin rolls for hidden treasures. The good news is that you might still have a chance to find one. Coins from 2015 are not that old, and many are still in circulation today. The key is knowing what to look for. What are the signs of a rare and valuable 2015 D Washington quarter? First, examine the coin under good lighting or even with a magnifying glass. Look for any unusual features such as doubled images on the lettering or numbers, which is known as doubling. You might also notice unusual textures or misaligned strikes. These are all signs of mint errors, which can greatly increase a coin's value. Another key factor is the condition of the coin. Coins that are still shiny with no scratches or wear are much more desirable to collectors. If you think you've found something special, don't rush to spend it. Instead, consider getting the coin professionally graded. There are several trusted grading companies that can evaluate your coin and provide a certification, which is essential for high-value sales. The grading process involves a close inspection of the coin's surfaces, strike luster, and overall preservation. A high grade like MS67 or above can send the value of your coin soaring. Even if your 2015 D quarter is not the record breaker, it can still be worth more than face value. Some examples in average circulated condition can sell for $5 to $10 or more, depending on the market and collector interest. The point is, this coin has gained attention not only because of one high-profile sale, but because it symbolizes the hidden value that can be found in everyday change. Now, let's talk about the current market. As of now, coin enthusiasts and investors are keeping a close watch on coins from the 2015 series, especially those from the Denver Mint. Online auction platforms are seeing increased bidding activity, and dealers are reporting higher demand for mint condition America the Beautiful quarters. This trend could continue to grow as more people become aware of this incredible story. With precious metals fluctuating and collectibles gaining momentum, many see rare coins as a smart and exciting investment. If you're someone who enjoys coin hunting or just curious about the treasures hiding in plain sight, take a moment to check your quarters. You never know. That 2015 D quarter you find in your car cup holder or stuck between the couch cushions might just be the next record-breaking gem. Wrap it all up, the 2015 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar has become a legend in the world of numismatics. With a history rooted in national pride of design that honors America's beauty and a modern twist of rare minting errors, this coin is truly one to watch. The sale of one such coin for over $93,000 has changed the game and inspired a whole new generation of collectors. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible value of modern quarters, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a video about coins that could make you rich. Have you found a rare coin? Drop a comment below and share your story. Who knows, you might be holding the next big discovery. Until next time, happy coin hunting and keep checking that change. In the world of coin collecting, stories of rare finds and hidden treasures fuel a community driven by passion and patience. But every so often, a modern coin breaks through the expected mold and takes the numismatic world by storm. One such surprise came in the form of a seemingly ordinary 2018 Washington quarter with a Denver Mint mark. Today, we explore the fascinating journey of this coin, its background, what makes it so special, and why one specimen recently sold for an astonishing $43,279. This is the story of the 2018 D Washington quarter dollar that shook the market. Background and design history. To understand why this coin is making headlines, we first have to understand its roots. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. Originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the coin quickly became a permanent part of circulation. Over the years, it saw numerous design changes, but its legacy remained intact. Fast forward to 2018. As part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program launched in 2010, the Mint released a series of quarters honoring national parks and historic sites. The 2018 design featured the beautiful imagery of Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan. The obverse still bore the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. But what set this coin apart was not its artistic merit, nor its tribute to natural beauty, but something far more rare and unexpected. The Denver Mint connection. The D Mint mark signifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the main production facilities for United States coinage. In 2018, millions of these quarters were minted. So the question is obvious. If millions were made, why is one worth over $43,000 today? The answer lies not in the quantity, but in the details. Like in all great stories, it's the small things that matter the most. Numismatists, collectors, and students of coins began noticing anomalies in some 2018 D Washington quarters. These weren't just minor die cracks or faint doubling. These anomalies represented rare striking errors, highly unusual patterns, and in some cases, proof-like surfaces that were never intended for circulation. In one extraordinary case, a 2018 D Washington quarter exhibited characteristics that made it truly one of a kind. It had an unusual die clash, near-perfect preservation, and a full strike that gave it a mirror-like finish. Experts believe it may have been an experimental piece or even a mint error that passed through unnoticed. This particular quarter was later submitted to a leading grading authority and received an incredibly high grade, nearly flawless. When it appeared at auction, the buzz was immediate. Collectors from around the world showed interest. Bidding was fierce, and by the end of the night, the final sale price was an eye-watering $43,279. A modern quarter, just a few years old, now standing among some of the most valuable modern coins in history. Scene 4. What makes it valuable? So what exactly contributed to this quarter's insane value? It all boils down to a combination of rarity, condition, and desirability. First, the error, a rare mint anomaly that set it apart from the millions of others. Second, the grade. Pristine coins fetch far more in the marketplace, especially when they're slabbed and verified by respected grading services. Third, the timing. Interest in modern coin errors has been surging in recent years, with collectors willing to pay premium prices for standout pieces. And lastly, the story. Every valuable coin has a story that adds to its mystique. The fact that such an unusual coin emerged from a relatively common release made it a true sleeper hit in the collecting world. Scene 5. Market trends and what to look for. In the current coin market, modern rarities like this are commanding more attention than ever. It is no longer just about old silver dollars or pre-1900 coins. Modern mint errors, ultra-high grades, and specialty releases are entering the spotlight. Collectors are now combing through rolls of 2018 D quarters, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, $43,000 in clad. If you happen to come across a 2018 D quarter, take a close look. Check for unusual features. Look for doubling on the lettering, odd die clashes, extra leaves, or unusual luster. Examine the rim and edges carefully. And most importantly, if it looks unusually pristine or odd, consider submitting it for grading. You might just be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Scene 6. Final thoughts. Who would have thought that a coin minted just a few years ago, worth 25 cents and change, could now be worth more than a luxury car? It is a reminder that treasures often lie in plain sight, waiting for the right eye to notice. The story of the 2018 D Washington quarter is not just about one rare coin. It's a celebration of curiosity, detail, and the incredible surprises the numismatic world still holds. The next time you're handed a quarter and change, take a moment to look. You never know. It might just be worth $43,279. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin history, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more hidden gem stories, and comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifier ready, and your change jar close. Who knows what treasure you'll find next?